Alrighty, so I've just entered this trade and I'm just playing towards the buy side liquidity. As you can see, the execution's on right there. I pressed the entry and then I immediately opened up my streaming software or my recording software. But yeah, honestly, I like the way we respected this bearish fair value gap. I mean, the way we disrespected it. So we inverted it. We inverted this lower one. We left a breakaway gap down here. And honestly, it's just a little, this is like a scalp to me, honestly, but you know, I don't intend on trading the price action in the AM session tomorrow, so this is just a quick Asia session trade. We're also below that new day opening gap, created just a small one, created just a small new day opening gap, and yeah, I'm just looking for a buy side, quick little scalp. So just to get you up to date with the current market structure, we have south side liquidity down here, which was swept very briefly, very nicely. And yeah, south side liquidity was swept, quick displacement back up, and now we're just chilling. This is real time, 6:32 p.m. Eastern timing, December 31st. Or no, December 30th. Yeah. Everyone in the comments, drop your New Year's resolutions. I want to know. See what changes we're going to make next year. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we come back down, stop this, take out stops on this low. Then I could see a potential re-entry of like a retest of this fair value gap, because the Asia sessions have not been smooth lately, but this is just a little attempt at a trade. I think it's a good one. I like the way that we broke out of this fair value gap, this inversion fair value gap, and simultaneously created another bullish fair value gap too, actually, on the way up. So that was really the main confluence for this trade. That kind of made me be confident in putting my stop loss at this swing low right here. I was watching the displacement down here. I was watching the displacement up here. And then I finally took the entry all the way up here. So, you know, the entry is, it may not always be the best entry timing, but at least you know that you're confident in your position. It aligns with your strategy, it aligns with your model. And then you just have to wait and watch. I do believe we have a 3 minute or probably like a 5 minute. Yeah, this is a 3 minute order block right here. It's probably a 5 minute order block as well. Oh, no, it's not. But we have a big inversion on the 5 minute here. And honestly, I can probably take this off my chart, but I'm just going to leave it on there. Definitely makes my chart look a little bit messy, which I'm not trying to, my chart is not typically messy. But we also have this 4-hour PD array, which is a 4-hour fair value gap that I can extend over here. But it's honestly just like we're inside of it, as you can see clearly. So yeah, and let me actually just keep it off my screen for a little bit. I like the way that we came up, took this high, and we're still staying above it. That's pretty nice. I would confidently move my stop loss to here if we were in the AM session, just so that I could like secure basically a break-even trade, but I just don't feel safe doing that right now. Just not yet. But I do like this institutional order flow entry drill right here. Right? This is a nice example of it. Do I have a template for it? I do. So what institutional order flow entry drill basically means is you, to the tick, this goes clearly not to the tick, maybe to the point, but tap into the fair value gap and then immediately displace higher after doing so. And that's basically what's going on. It's just nice algorithmic pricing. So I do intend on seeing some type of resistance on the new day opening gap. All right, so when we reach that new day opening gap, maybe bounce back a little bit, retest this fair value gap, then push higher. Worst case, in my opinion, we retest like a little bit lower, like maybe down here. But my stop is clearly secure now, in my opinion. So we're gonna just wait and see. Live commentary on this trade. Unfortunately, not live streaming today, but it's all good. I'll be live streaming Thursday. I like the market structure. Feels like a market maker buy model. Didn't expect this session to be so clean, to be honest, but it's nice and I like it. Okay, if we do price through this new day opening gap, then I'm expecting displacement right through this buy side liquidity. By the way, the nightly target, which I'm not going to be holding my trade through, but I'm expecting price to reach, is probably filling in at least to equilibrium in this fair value gap, this 15-minute fair value gap, but I don't expect us to get there immediately, which is why I want to just take my trade off at my initial target. It's just a quick Asian session scalp. Okay, stop loss to break even now. It's a nice trade. Oh my goodness, my mouse is lagging so much, but we'll bear through it. Now, I feel like it's appropriate to take off 3 micros from this trade. Okay. I've removed 3 micros from this trade. So I've taken this is a profitable trade now, so that's nice. And, we have order blocks and stuff that there's so many, I'm just not going to mark them out. Like, we have an important one right here, I guess, which is here. You'll see me denote an order block, a bullish one at least with a plus OB. And most ICT traders do that, I guess. Like the entry, I waited for it very, very patiently. I waited for a lot of confirmation. Honestly, I know I'm quiet during this recording. I'm typically just maintaining it. Like, I'm typically just entering and then, marking out stuff that's on my chart that I see, but nothing crazy, Just calm. Calm price action. I kind of like this price action though. So yeah, this is nice. letting price do its thing. You sound tired, but I am wide awake, waiting for this trade to just play out in my favor. I like the buy side target. The Asia session will present you with a lot of opportunities, but there's a lot of times where it's going to make you feel like a horrible trader. It does it to me a lot. I know a lot of my live streams have gone left, gone south, as they say, because I failed to just respect the timing of the Asian session. What I mean by that is the Asia session doesn't always come with a lot of volume. And what that means is there will be random stop hunts that are just so uncalculated and you just can't do anything about them. So, yeah, things happen. So let me put this here. Don't need to mark everything, but this is just so you can visualize it, right? Another institutional order flow entry drill, everything's there. And I'm gonna take out this inversion fair value gap. It's not necessarily useful on the chart. You already have one down here, but one thing that you can definitely see here is volume imbalance and fair value gap. And that's what we found support on to move higher. So that was really helpful for the trade. Now, if this fair value gap doesn't hold through, then I'm definitely expecting this trade to not be profitable. I mean, to come back down and stop me out, but that's if this fair value gap fails. I guess I could mark it out, but I would mark it out if this order block fails. So yeah, it's just a matter of time. We're gonna delete this. We're gonna delete this. Keep the charts nice and empty. But yeah, this is a trade real time, and honestly, if you want to become a day trader, you have to put in a lot of hours. It's a lot of watching the charts. It's a lot of doing this, doing that. I was watching the chart since around 6:05 and it's currently 6:44. I took my entry after 30 minutes of watching, but even then, like, there will be hours where I'm just watching the charts, and sometimes I'll even be in a trade for several hours, which is sometimes unhealthy, right? You want to typically be in your trade like at least less than an hour, sometimes like more, a little more. But there are times where I've been in an overnight trade and it still come out profitable sometimes it doesn't. But you kind of have to deal with that, some of those situations that will really, really test your discipline. Stop hunts, everything. Yeah, just honestly, like this type of price action right here, this is something that will test your patience, right? It's consolidation, accumulation, right? It will test your patience. But right here is accumulation. And this is a quick power of 3 lesson. Well, like, I'm honestly just getting bored while this trade's up. But this is a power of 3 lesson, right? So we have accumulation. Then we have, typically there's manipulation, but I don't really see a manipulation leg in here except this one. This isn't manipulation in my opinion, it's just a sweep. I don't see a manipulation leg in here, but power of 3 typically goes accumulation, manipulation, distribution. You could say this is a manipulation leg, and if we apply standard deviation to that leg, we can see, we reach standard deviation perfectly. That's nice. So almost got a little stop out real quick. That could have been nasty. Still in this one though. Still in this one. That's nice. But yeah, this is the accumulation, and then this is the distribution. Right. So yeah, quick little lesson, power of 3. You want to see price accumulate the orders, accumulate buy orders to go long, manipulate, stop out some of those stop out sellers, and then, or stop out sell stops, and then push higher with fresh liquidity. Think of a banana, right? The banana has to wait a long time to become ripe, I believe. That's such a bad analogy. But once the banana is ripe, it's ready to be eaten. And same thing with trading. Once the trade is ready, you'll be able to execute it. So yeah, I feel like I am going to get stopped out. We might come down and sweep out this swing low. But by the looks of it, I like the fact that we just swept these internal lows. We're still holding on to this order block. And this was a very nice wick because it's just a sweep, right? Now I remember saying that this fair value gap was going to be tested. And that is precisely what happened. So hopefully we don't trade below that. If we do, then it's reasonable for me to get stopped out. But until then, we'll be chilling. I also don't want to see this chop around for like the next hour and a half. That would suck so badly. Man. Tempted to close this one out. I took partials nicely, but honestly, I took partials, so that covers the trading cost. So I'm not even tripping if I get stopped out at break even. Looks like the algorithm's stepping in. We are entering the macro, so we can put that down on the chart. So what the macro is basically going to give us is algorithmic price action, meaning it can spool we can have stop hunts, we can create fair value gaps, and just the macro typically just presents us with entry models. That's like basically the idea, time and price. So yeah. Okay, a little sweep of these highs. That doesn't look too nice, but I'll allow price to continue doing his thing. We had a sweep lower, sweep higher. I want a continuation higher though. This might be a 2-minute order block. Nah, it's not. You might be bored watching this, to be honest, but this is what's necessary, in my opinion. This is what's necessary for growth. Being bored while doing your work. It's not always going to be fun. It's not always going to be giggling, interacting with chat. It's not always going to be like that. Sometimes I'm not trying to stream, but I'm still trying to trade. And yeah, this is just work, right? This is a business. Trading, you should treat trading like a business. That's what I meant. Glad I took partials. I took partials at a pretty nice spot. Then I was able to move my stop loss to break even confidently. And honestly, like, if we traded and closed through this fair value gap, like, my stop loss was probably going to get hit anyways. So yeah, my stop loss, if you remember, moved from here all the way here, right? That makes a big difference. That's a 9-point difference. That's a $180 difference. So yeah, you got to think about all these things, right? Like, money doesn't just grow on trees. You got to manually generate it, things like that. As of right now, this price action is nice and choppy. We have points of confluence where it will distribute and then it'll accumulate. And honestly, this feels like accumulation. We had slight distribution, right, with these two candles. But after that, it's just chopping around. And that's cool because I'm here to wait. I'm not in a rush right now anyways, so yeah. If I move my take profit here, $60 difference, but it's also like the difference between whether I was right or wrong. I prefer to be right, obviously. Extending this fair value gap to see if we retest it. I don't expect us to, but just in case. And if you recall what I said earlier, we can bounce off the new day opening gap, retest the fair value gap, push higher to the liquidity, or we could go to the new day opening gap, come all the way here to this fair value gap, and then push up. And I was right about this one, hopefully, right? But I don't want to speak too soon, but hopefully that's the case. Not right yet. The way we were able to not have any candle closes, like any strong candle closes below this order block was nice. That's always a plus. We also have volume imbalance here, but I'm not really going to mark that out on my chart. I don't think it's that important. It's such a small little thing compared to like this fair value gap, which is more important. And there's actually a volume imbalance on this fair value gap that we can extend it through, yeah. I'm not going to do that though. But yeah, I'm human too. It's natural for me to get bored while doing these types of things because price is just moving so slowly, and I would like it to accelerate, but it can do what it wants to do, honestly. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy how price moves. You don't know what it's going to do next. And if it goes against you, it feels bad. When it goes with you, it's like, okay, I was right. I'm going to have to still trade again. So this feels scary. So you never know. Emotions come and go. Money comes and goes. But your mentality is what sticks. regardless of the outcome of this trade, I do feel really good about it just because of how disciplined it was, how much I waited, and the target seems logical to me. So yeah. Okay, I like this price movement higher. We retested that fair value gap one more time. And yeah, looks like we're not accelerating. We are making some type of leg higher. Obviously, it could just go up, go down, go up, go down, stop me out, go up, go up, go up. So, never know what's going to happen. We'll just wait. This trade's making me sleepy. Okay, acceleration. I like this. And this is moving nicely. Like I said, we're in the macro, so this is the type of price action you would expect. And yeah, we're pretty close to the buy side. I'll be taking the trade off if we reach and then we start like edging around here. Pause. What I mean is we start like, you know, getting very close, and this will actually when I do actually see the trade coming up, I do like to move my take profit down a point. It's a $15 difference in my take profit, but to me that's like basically like there's not much difference. What I'm trying to say, like this is the type of that's just what I like to see. I like to at least see that my take profit was hit. So especially in these low probability conditions with New Year just like right around the corner, like this is exactly what I want. This is nice. Getting ready, bam, and yeah, that is a low trade execution. Asia ATM model to its finest capacity, and I'm gonna wait and watch just like one more minute to see what happens next with this candle, because if I didn't move it down a point, oh my goodness, would I have. This is a nice 1 to 2 risk reward trade, and I was able to take profits early and take full profits later. And yeah, this is nice. Demonstrated usage of the macro, order blocks, fair value gaps, and inversion fair value gaps, and sell side sweep towards buy side target. This is nice. It's a little 50-point range basically, and I was able to catch 18 of those points. So sometimes we won't catch the full move, but it's about the trading model that allows you to be consistent. And yeah, thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Everyone have a happy new year. Drop y'all's New Year's resolution. Let's get to it.